Hello everyone, I invite you to every Wednesday cryptocurrency review. Let's start by checking the current situation on BTC in the USDT pair, taking into account the 1-hour interval. First, we will use the yellow line to determine the upward trend line from which the price is broken down, currently creating a falling triangle in which we can see a movement towards closing the triangle. At this point, it is worth turning on EMA cross 10 and 30, because they indicate the moment of confirmation of the transition to a local downtrend, which can potentially be used to play a short-term short. Now we can move on to marking support areas in case the correction deepens. And here, after deploying the trend-based fib extension tool, we can determine a strong support zone from $50,752 to $50,272, which for now keeps the price from falling further. Looking the other way, when we unfold the grid again, we can determine this time the zone of main resistance for price increases. And here you can see the zone from $52,020 to $52,400. Only when the price comes out on top and then tests positively will we be able to observe further increases. When we look at the RSI indicator, we can see a movement in the lower part of the range, which can potentially translate into increases. While on the stock indicator, a similar movement takes place in the lower part, which again gives room for local growth. As the second chart in today's review, we will check ETH in pair with USDT, also on a 1-hour time frame. First, using the yellow line, we will determine the downward trend line from which the price moved sideways and then started a strong upward trend. Let's now move on to laying out the trend-based fib extension grid to determine resistance locations. However, here we can see how the price broke out from a strong resistance and then positively tested it, creating this resistance as the main support. While now we can see an upward movement towards the next strong resistance at $3,052. Looking the other way, we can see confirmation of the previously mentioned support that the price has created, but further we need to define the support zone from $2,615 to $2,523, where we could see the price bounce several times, once from the upper and once from the lower border. The RSI indicator shows a movement at the upper limit, but here we see a visible rebound which quickly results in an even greater price increase. The stock indicator similarly shows a movement approaching the upper limit, which may again result in an attempt to recover. Now let's go to the BNB chart in the same way in the 1-hour interval. We will start by identifying the main uptrend line with the yellow line. Moving on, we will move on to marking the places of resistance. And here, after unfolding the trend-based fib extension grid, you can see how the price has currently bounced off the strong resistance at $374.50, which is located at the so-called golden point of 0.618 fib. Looking further, when the price breaks above the current resistance, the important resistance level is around $393. By looking the other way, we will designate supports. And here support is visible at the level of $361. And then the level around $352 should be kept in mind. At this point, it is also worth determining the locally ongoing upward trend over which the price is staying. If we look at the RSI indicator, we will see a recovery just before the upper limit. Similar behavior can be observed on the stock indicator, and in both cases there is still room for a deeper recovery. The last one in today's list is the LTC to USDT chart. In this situation, we will start by defining the downtrend channel using the blue lines. Going further, looking at the current price decline, we can determine a strong support zone from $67.55 to $66.41, which is also at the lower border of the channel. Looking the other way, there is resistance at $68.76. Then the price rebounded from the resistance at $69.64, and then significant resistance at $71, at the upper limit of the downtrend channel. On the RSI indicator, you can determine the downward trend line under which it is moving, with dynamic price movements down. While on the stock indicator there is still some room for another rebound. Technical analysis is provided by a third party, and for informational purposes only. It does not reflect the views of CryptoDaily, nor is it intended to be used as legal, tax, investment, or financial advice.